Hello, everyone, and welcome in to It's All Connected, the Marvel, DC, Star Wars recap show here on the Illuminerdi. I'm one of your hosts, Bryce West, a writer and editor for the Illuminerdi.com, and these are our other hosts.
What's up, guys? Richard Devins here, another writer at the Illuminerdi. We're going to try take two today.
Yeah.
I think our technical difficulties have been resolved.
A little bit, yeah. I think things are still a little
crossed.
Little choppy, but it's definitely a lot better than it was yesterday.
Well, it's going, so that's a success.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we got a good show for you guys today.
Hey guys, Caitlin Tyrrell, writer at the Illuminerdi. We got, of course, on the Star Wars side of things, Bad Batch. We've got a Boba Fett rumor that could be very exciting for Star Wars fans. Marvel has a lot of stuff for MCU and for the Sony side of Marvel, which is always kind of fun to dive into that as well. And then with DC, we've got some news with the HBO Max stuff, we got movie news, and we have a little bit of that CW Arrowverse coming at you. So yeah, big, fun show today. And I think we're going to jump into Star Wars to start out because we still got Bad Batch is our big watch-along show. And if you are not joining us on the watch-alongs Thursday at 11:40 p.m. Pacific, please do. We're doing the Bad Batch, as I stated, with me, Richard, Josh, and Rob. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, let's talk about the last episode. Last episode was, I think, one of my favorites so far. What do you guys think?
It was solid, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the episode. We see some new developing plot threads, so that's always nice
Finally
to see, and we get to see some familiar faces as well.
Yeah, we got like Bib Fortuna, we got the guards. We're getting some like a little bit of a tease of Jabba the Hutt, so I'm hoping we're actually going to see him. That'd be great.
Right, and then we got the Rancor thing was great. Yeah, it might
that
actually
legit
tie back to episode 6.
I think I said that like 2 seconds before we started the episode. I was like, what if this is the one from the original trilogy? And then they're like, it's Jabba the Hutt. So we're all like, what? No.
Well, you actually legit nailed that. That was
right. Oh man, yeah. I mean, the Rancor was I will say this. It made me feel much more sympathetic towards the guy in Return of the Jedi who was like the trainer of the Rancor and was crying when I got killed.
Right.
I was like, great, next time I watch, I'm also going to be super sad about that. Thanks, Bad Batch.
Seriously.
That was one of those ones I didn't really care. You were like, yeah, and now, nope, super sad.
Oh,
Rancor,
yeah.
Adorable. Like, they had Wrecker and the Rancor just descend into slap fights by the end. That was great.
Yeah. It's nice when you have them as little babies like that before they turn into enormous orange rage monsters.
That eat people?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man. And then we got some Clone Wars callback, which was cool. The Zygerian slave traders were the same ones from season, I want to say 4 or 5, what they captured Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan, as well as a bunch of Togrutas. So that was a cool callback, especially because they were really having that moment of now that the Republic is gone, we can rebuild. So I'm hoping we get maybe to see some of that stuff where we have kind of these criminal elements really dive back into their just like criminality, I guess, now that the Republic isn't there to watch. Doesn't care as long as it's not affecting them.
Yeah, the Empire doesn't really seem to care about a lot if it's not like directly affecting them.
And as long as they get their cut, probably.
Well, yeah.
And we didn't see a lot of Empire today, right? Or not today, but in the episode.
No, not really. I mean, it's kind of, speculation on like who could have sent the bounty hunter for Omega. But,
I think we froze, Bryce.
Well, I mean,
yeah. Sorry, guys.
Just keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Just keep going. Keep going. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the hunt for Omega, we got Fennec mention, and we know now that she's really early in her career, which is cool because we see her kind of almost at the end of it when we meet her in The Mandalorian before she gets shot, and we assumed killed in the first season, but obviously wasn't. So it's cool to really kind of see that one of these characters' origin stories. That'll be really interesting to hopefully continue to play out.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, looks like we're coming back, sort of. Yeah, I know, but I mean, we figured as much that like this show would go into her like long before her stuff in The Mandalorian, just because of the timeline and everything. But it's cool to see, just how formidable she is early on, rather than just seeing her where we see her now.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be, I'm really hoping this obviously ties into Clone Wars. I really want it to tie into the upcoming series because that just seems like a wasted opportunity if it doesn't. And it feels like they're doing that already, which is cool. And then Omega's still getting hunted and Omega getting her bow and arrow thing. So that was nice.
Yeah, no, we saw it for a second. She didn't actually use it, but I'm sure that'll come eventually. There's still, at least 10 episodes, so.
I think there's 11 because that was 5.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think there's either 15 or 16. So yeah.
Yeah. We're still. Is yours working?
Nope.
Should we keep going?
What do you think, Bryce?
I don't know. I do not know. There shouldn't. No, not really. I mean, it's kind of, there shouldn't be an issue. I don't know why all of a sudden. Because whenever I did my test stream, whenever I did the test stream, everything worked fine, and now I'm streaming here on Illuminerdi, and now everything goes haywire again. So,
yeah,
I think we're kind of back, but it's like super far behind.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry for anybody listening. Sorry about the technical difficulties we're going through. It's been kind of going haywire on us the last couple days.
But yeah, and we saw the Bad Batch actually working as the Bad Batch as a team, so that was great. We saw all of them really being useful. We saw Tech being less of a prick.
Jerk.
And it looks like we're gonna get Wrecker with the inhibitor chip, I think. So this is like the second or third time we've seen him clutching that right side of his head, which is where it got removed from
Rex.
Rex, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the inhibitor chip is gonna come into play at some point later on in the season. So
why Wrecker?
Right.
Come on,
why
man.
Wrecker? Oh man.
That's not fair. He's like the best.
He is the best.
Literally one of my favorite moments in the episode was when Sid, the new character we met, who is very cool and has a lot of very interesting potential, but when literally she says that Omega's the brains of the operation and Wrecker high fives her.
That was amazing.
It's such a tiny moment, but it was so fun.
Right. Or when she's sneaking up on the wire and they're trying to distract everybody holding them from looking at her.
And they're giving hints. If we had our gear, this would be so much easier. Hint, hint.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Right.
Seriously.
Get the gear.
Yeah, no, they did a good job of helping her help them.
Definitely. No, so I think this felt like, okay, this is the show.
Yeah,
out of all the episodes so far, this felt like really establishing what the show is to me.
Yeah, like if I had to rank them so far, I'd say this is definitely number 2 behind that first episode. And I'm not sure if we're gonna get another one that's
episode.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna get one that tops that, but this is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'd say for me right now it's 1, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, because 3 for me, Crosshair nailed it, and then last one was just it was filler, but it was fun. And this one was kind of we got the mercenary stuff, we got Bad Batch really feeling like they're working as a team finally. We got fun callbacks to Clone Wars and setups for the original trilogy. Like, it really kind of had all those elements of what I'm hoping for in a Dave Filoni show that's set in a new, like, era of Star Wars.
Now we just have to wait for Ahsoka to show up, and then it'll really be a Dave Filoni show.
And Rex and Bo-Katan, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, lots of those Clone Wars characters. I mean, I'm so hoping we're going to get a bunch of Clone Wars characters, like Cad Bane. Boba Fett feels like just the perfect thing to have in there. I'd love to see Jabba. Like, there's so many pieces of this that I want. And then, of course, like, Hondo.
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember, I just saw an article the other day online. I can't remember who it was from, but asking where in the world is Cad Bane. And
he literally drops off the map after Clone Wars. He gets put in prison and is never seen again.
And he was great. He's one of my favorite Clone Wars characters.
100%. Like, this is the perfect opportunity to really, like, flesh out his story, because you don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, it's all the mercenary stuff. He would fit perfectly with that kind of stuff.
Oh my god, I so hope we have, like, Battle Royale of the Bounty Hunters in this. This is such the right show for that.
Bounty Royale. That'd be great.
Yeah. And Filoni wanted, like, to do more of the bounty hunter stuff that just didn't end up getting done in Clone Wars. So this feels like the place to do it. Like, some of that stuff you had to do with Clone Wars, Bounty Hunter Royale, for sure Bad Batch territory.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I'm definitely hoping we get more of that. But, yeah, I mean, it feels like we're really kind of getting in the groove of Bad Batch. And I dig it. This is what I wanted out of this show.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it feels like this is like what you said earlier. This is kind of like what the show's supposed to be about a little bit. It wasn't like all the way there, but this was the closest it's been since the opening episode.
Yeah, the other ones felt like, other than last week's, which we've said felt like kind of just fun filler, the other two really felt kind of expositional.
Yeah, and plus they mentioned Fennec in this episode, which means I think we're probably going to see some more of her badassery later on.
We gotta. You don't have Ming-Na Wen in one episode. Come on.
No. And not even like just one episode. One episode is like not the main person.
Yeah, for sure. No, we gotta get more Ming-Na Wen. Like,
for sure.
I'm so excited. And she's so, like, I know we talked about it last week, and I'll just very briefly touch on it. Her voice acting is so good. She managed to sound sincere and sinister at the same time. How is that even possible?
Top notch. Like, she kills it. There's no other way to put it.
100%. No. So, no, I'm excited for Bad Batch. Like, literally, I think the only thing that would have made me think of last episode is maybe, like, the ideal is having a little more of the Empire world building sprinkled in there, but it worked without a lot of it. So I'm happy. We got, like, mentions of it, but it wasn't a main story point. So I'm really hoping in either the next episode or the one after that, we get to kind of jump back to the Kaminoans and Crosshair and see what's going on over there.
Yeah. Also, I think we're getting a little bit closer on going on the stream. I can see us moving at least. So hopefully you guys out there can hear us, and
I can hear us when I check in.
Okay, good. Cool. And I know Bryce is working his tail off over here to make sure to get us going. So thank you, Bryce.
We're going to, I think, jump into the Boba Fett rumor so that Bryce has a little more time to work on this before we get into his. Unless you want to get into your next.
You know, I've been working on a backup plan.
Wait,
but then
we're moving.
Yeah, well then,
we're moving.
We started moving, but now we're not again on my end, kind of. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
All right, we'll jump into
Go ahead.
Boba Fett really quick.
Yeah, for sure.
So it looks like that there's a rumor based on some, like, stickers that were given out to different crew members, to different departments of the Boba Fett series, that Boba Fett might be multiple seasons, because the stickers themselves said, like, season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think Boba Fett has been specifically marketed as a
limited series
or a limited series like we've seen with Obi-Wan. So this is, like, I assumed it was going to be one season. Yeah.
It looks like we're going good, moving again, which is good news. And no, for Boba, like, it's funny. I wouldn't have expected him to actually be, like, a limited series, just because, like, even though we haven't seen a ton of Boba Fett, like, throughout the years, this is an original character from
For sure.
from the original trilogy. He showed up first in what was it, episode 6 or 5? I think 6.
I think 5. We saw him in 5 when
Oh no,
he
we did when
started
Han
hunting
when
down.
when Han was going
Yeah,
into
because they
carbonite.
captured him in 5. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So he started off in episode 5.
I remember watching. I think we saw him in 4, but he didn't like have a big role. We just kind of saw him walking with Jabba when.
Right before they left.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's literally been around for at least 40 years, and I mean. Good for Tamura Morrison, who's getting to star as Boba Fett now, and playing the role and everything, and it's awesome. Like, can't wait for more Boba Fett.
Talk of him popping up in the other live action stuff as possibly Cody and Rex. So
right,
yeah, I think he's gonna be busy with Star Wars, which is very cool. No, I think that part of the reason I just assumed it was gonna be like kind of a limited series is the way it really kind of popped up at the end of Mandalorian, where they were like the Book of Boba Fett coming next year or coming soon, whatever it was, I don't remember. So that really kind of what I think made it feel like, oh, this is a like singular thing. But it totally makes sense to do this long term, because why would you not, when you have, it looks like Boba Fett and Fennec Shand setting up like a freaking criminal empire or something. That's 100% something I want to get. We've said multiple times we want to show about like the criminal underworld,
the world of the Empire.
This is a perfect way to do it.
Yeah, like if we don't get into it a ton for Bad Batch, like Boba Fett would be perfect for that kind of show. I mean, especially with Ming-Na Wen involved.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was even thinking like in Clone Wars, we find out that like Jabba has a kid, and we never see what happens. So I'm hoping that comes into play. Like maybe Jabba's kid wants to take back the palace. That'd be a very cool thing to really explore with that.
That would be super cool. Yeah.
And then there's rumors that like Cobb Vanth, Mando, Grief Targan, I think. Yeah, and can't remember. It's gonna bother me. But there's rumors that like a bunch of those Mandalorian characters are gonna pop up. So I really think this is the perfect show to really kind of nail into that expansion of the Mandalorian part of Star Wars that we've gotten into, which I mean, it's exciting. I think that I expected Mandalorian to be kind of where we would maybe set up a new like introduction into Rangers of the New Republic if they're going to do that at some point, but Boba Fett's a really good place to do it too.
Yeah, and I think too, like when I was just thinking with all this Mando stuff, as these series like keep going on more and more, I think Mandalorian's going to become that much more important in the Star Wars org. I mean, like it's important anyway, because it's one of the best, Star Wars projects out there. But
in a while,
exactly, in a while. And the fact that it's setting up like this whole interconnected universe on Disney Plus and in the movies and everything, and like Mando's gonna be regarded as something really special in the Star Wars universe, like even more so as time goes on.
No, I really think Mando kind of started the Star Wars renaissance, because you had Star Wars animated, which has been solid for a very long time, but it's a niche. Like you can't get around it. It's a niche, even in the Star Wars like fandom. So to have this live action that really has drawn fans of all ages in, like you want with Star Wars, like Star Wars is one of those multi-generational shows or like franchises that works well with that. So no, I think having multiple seasons of Boba Fett is exactly the right way to go. Because like you said, Richard, like it pulls in the fans from like who grew up watching the original trilogy, especially the ones who like legitimately saw it in theaters and fell in love with Boba Fett immediately. And then you've got fans like us or younger who's like, that guy's cool. Let's dig into it. I want to find out how he survived the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah. You know what? And I got to say, too, they did a damn good job back in the 70s with the whole having him had the mask thing on the whole time, because like they set that up so that could literally be anybody if they, decided to do something with it 30, 40 years down the line, which I don't know how far Lucas had things planned out, but pretty impressive nonetheless.
I love the whole like Mandalorian aspect of all like the Clone Wars and everything, like the culture of it. So the fact that we're probably going to get into that with not only Mandalorian season 3, but Boba Fett, since we found out in season 2 that from the chain code that his dad was legit a Mandalorian, is so exciting to me. I mean, him always wearing the helmet in that time into the Mandalorian series is so cool. So no, I'm excited. I mean, Boba Fett feels like kind of the show to cross over with Mandalorian. I'm sure Ahsoka will as well, but Boba Fett feels like the perfect one because the like chemistry and camaraderie between Boba Fett, Mando, and Fennec was one of the like coolest aspects of season 2.
For sure. And I mean, having this all tied back to Bad Batch in a way, like I don't know what we're gonna get the next, 10, 11 weeks or whatever, but we got some good stuff coming.
For sure. I mean, like we saw Bib Fortuna in Bad Batch, and we saw him die at the end of Mandalorian.
Right.
Like that's how Boba Fett got set up. So
right, yeah, for sure.
Sad but cool little callback. I think we're kind of where we're gonna be with the stream, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So let's move on.
You will hear us, but
yeah. I mean,
Let's
I'm gonna try and do some.
No. It's not
We're doing
complaining at all.
something new this week, so
yeah.
So just kind of
Not
stick
complaining
around.
at all.
Everybody
we are
can
doing
hear
our
us.
best. That's good. That's good.
That's
so
what matters.
we're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying something different. I think we're gonna try and go back and forth. So
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
So the reason I'm checking is, are you ready to get into our more movie sequel trilogy based news?
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think /
all of
so.
our favorite Star Wars content.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we love the sequels here, and it's all connected.
And to be fair, we like them to an extent. I mean, like, it's Star Wars. They're fun enough. I said to an extent, Bryce.
Force Awakens.
What that extent is, I will leave to your discretion.
Yeah. Well,
oh man.
I will watch Force Awakens any day. The other two.
Yeah, Force Awakens is cool. Last Jedi and especially Rise of Skywalker might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
Wow.
That's cold.
High bar.
All right. Okay.
Anywho, in Star Wars sequel news, we've got John Boyega. An interview with him has resurfaced where John Boyega has expressed interest in actually returning to the franchise, which is honestly quite surprising with some of his past comments. But he says that he is willing to return to Star Wars as long as J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy are still attached to the project, which is interesting because I thought it would be the opposite.
If they weren't attached to the project.
Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of interesting.
I would love John Boyega to come back. I thought Finn was super cool. I would love him to have, I think I said this before the stream, a legitimate like storyline that has a follow through.
I completely agree. No, like they set him up pretty well in Force Awakens. Like they set him up to be ambiguous enough that you could kind of go in a couple different directions with him.
Like you have a stormtrooper who defects essentially. That's super freaking cool.
It's interesting.
Last Jedi, like I like that he still didn't want to be a part of the rebellion. I thought that totally tracked. Because if I was in the world of Star Wars, I'd be like, nah, you guys die a lot. Like, can you imagine being a rebellion pilot? You basically are going to die. That's like what's going to happen.
Unless you're like Han Solo or maybe Poe Dameron.
Unless you're a name character.
Yeah, unless your name is like in the credits on the poster, you're going to die.
100%, totally agree. So I was kind of okay with him not wanting to be a part of the rebellion. I actually liked that, and I liked how I didn't mind his storyline in Last Jedi. It's just he didn't do much in like Rise of Skywalker, so it felt a little like a waste.
Yeah,
he's a cool character, and John Boyega's really good.
Like him and Rose were like completely pushed to the side in that movie. It 100%. Rise of Skywalker it seemed like it pushed everybody like to the side outside of maybe Rey and clone Palpatine and Kylo sort of.
Well, I mean, and John Boyega had previously expressed his displeasure with